Good morning, everybody. Welcome back from the holidays, and we're ready to start 2024 and have a great year. Great way to do that is to be paying attention to your 5Q tape breakdowns. This last week's was a great example of when and how to empower a client and what it accomplishes. So, guys, this is a great New Year's resolution. If you're not at least doing the 15-minute drill every day, which I think is the minimum, well, then at least every other week, pay attention to the 5Q tape breakdown. That'll help you get better this year. So 5Q ECA will be closed on Monday, January 15th for MLK Day. So just a heads up on that. I'm sure a lot of you will as well. Today's topic is a big one, I think, the Book of Wow. And in today's world, we have so much competition. We now have competition with do-it-yourselfers. We have competition with robo-advisors. We have competition with fees going down. We have competition with all the other advisors out there. How do we stand out from that? Well, this research and PowerPoint and presentation that I found on the Book of Wow by Janice Henderson, Investors, it gives you a fantastic guide to how to do that. So we're going to walk through that and see how we can incorporate it into our practices. So in this, they talk about Wow, what's behind the book, how they did the research. And the big thing is the difference between satisfied clients and emotionally engaged clients. I call them satisfied clients and loyal clients. So what's the problem? Because we've been told, we've covered this here, not even a month ago, I think. What's the problem with satisfied clients? Because that's what we were told, right? When we got in, you got to have satisfied clients. You got to have satisfied clients. What's the problem with satisfied clients? You do not want satisfied clients. Why? What are satisfied? Well, first of all, you're right. They don't refer. But what else is the problem with satisfied clients? They're going to stay with you until what? They find something better. They're still listening to other people. They will stay with you until they find something better. Loyal clients will not leave you. So wowing clients is how you get them to stay. Wowing prospects is how you get them to come over. So in this presentation, you got send in the close, step it up, why wow now, go where the expectations aren't, that's the big one, play the curve, and then working wow, 10 practices, create a wow mindset and culture, engage emotionally, to each his own, remarkable means repeatable and referable, you don't have to be a wow hero, you don't have to be a wow hero, and that's a big one. It does not take a lot of effort to do this. Spend your wows wisely, build information capital, cultivate a wow operation, leverage techno wows, end at the high note. So we're going to talk about all of these things today, and if we go along, I'm going to actually roll it to next week because I think these are so powerful. So welcome to Wow. What is Wow? It is a client experience that goes beyond expectations. It makes your clients realize that you offer more than professional advice. You create a truly personalized service and experience, a level of service that seems unique to them. If you're doing the 5Q with your prospects, if you're doing the 5Q process, the 21-point checklist, do they feel like this? Do they feel like you're bringing a level of service that seems unique to them, that you're truly creating a truly personalized service experience as compared to what they're currently getting? Yay or nay? Yay or nay? Now, this is not about the 20. We're going to actually show you other ways you can do it, but just with what doing now, it absolutely, thank you, Bob, it absolutely does provide a level of service that seems unique to them. Well, unexpected, because when they come in to that second meeting, what are they expecting? When they come into your second meeting, what are they expecting? You're going to be like everybody else. And what does everybody else launch into? Investments. Selling them. So while unexpected by the client, such an experience usually involves some initiative and planning. More importantly, it requires a special mindset. The openness to recognizing when opportunities for wowing clients present themselves, and we're going to talk about that. So derivation of wow, first recorded use in 1513 as a Scottish interjection for expressing amazement. Wow, as a verb means overwhelmed with delight or amazement. That's what we're going to do. And guys, the guys that have made more than $1 million a year with the 21-point checklist always tell me over and over and over again how their clients say, and they get referrals upon referrals because clients say no advisor's ever taken the time to do this. You are different from every other advisor. You are the one we want to work with. It's apparent that you really care about us. That's the kind of things you want to hear. That's how you wow them. but there are other things you can do to wow them as well. So let me ask you a question. How many people have their dentists? How many of your dentists have TVs on the ceiling so you can watch? Do me yays or nays? Yays or nays? TVs on the ceiling so you can watch TV while they're. So I got a couple of N's. Got a yay. Got some yeses. So guys, does having a TV set on the ceiling really affect how well the dentist is taking care of your teeth? No. But what does it do to your overall experience? Instead of sitting there staring at ceiling tiles, thinking about all the things they're doing to you and in a very uncomfortable situation, it makes you think, wow, this is great service. This is what I want. This is what I want. So these are the kind of things that you want to do in your practice, and we're going to talk about that. So behind this book, the Art of Wow is developed in partnership with Dr. Joseph Michelli, an internationally known client experience expert and best-selling author of the New Gold Standard, which is 5 leadership principles of creating a legendary customer experience. The Starbucks Experience, 5 principles for turning ordinary into extraordinary. When Fish Fly, lessons of creating a vital and energized workplace. So this is a guy who's done a ton of research on how to wow people. So from satisfied clients to emotionally engaged fans, I call them loyal clients. Who wowed you today? We just gave you an example of a dentist. You know, I take it for granted now, but the first time I went into a dentist and they had a TV on the ceiling, was I wowed? You know, and we bring up yes, I was, but here's bring up the problem with that is now every time I go in, it's just an expectation, which does hurt that dentist, but also helps the dentist. If I go to another dentist and there's no TV on the ceiling, what am I thinking? This dentist sucks, which has nothing to do with the dentist's ability to actually take care of my teeth, but I'm thinking, how much does it cost when I put a TV on the ceiling? Why does he do that? So that's the kind of things you're looking at. So whom did you wow? So who wowed you and whom did you wow? Did you send a personal handwritten note to a high net worth investor? This guy thinks you should send personal handwritten notes. Is that a brand new concept to you? Or what have I been talking about for 25 years at coaching people? What did I do myself when I was making $1 million a year? I sent how many handwritten notes a month? 200 handwritten notes a month. Or send a gesture to, and I didn't just do it to high net worth investors, I did it to all my clients. A gesture to a client or loved one that shows that how much you matter to them. The essential premise under WOW is the concept of all business is personal. We've had Tom talk about on several times in the past 5 years, talking about, and the reason we bring Tom on is because his business is unbelievably successful just simply through referrals. And the reason he has so many referrals is because he does a fantastic job of personalizing his WOW experience for all of his clients. And guys, he had a problem finding staff, so he did these WOW experiences by himself with no staff whatsoever, and still makes unbelievable money with that. Now he finally found it's hard to find staff nowadays. He finally found some staff, so we're going to see unbelievable things from him going forward. But you can even do this stuff by yourself. The stories and insights that appear herein have been shared to catalyze action to spark shifts. So the thing I'm going to show you here on how to wow people, they're not what you should do, but they're to catalyze you into action, to spark a shift towards a wow service mindset. So you don't have to do all these things. You don't have to say, oh, I'm going to do that, do that, do that, do that, do that. No. But you should say, I'm going to do that one thing. And actually at the very, very end, I'm going to show you, for those of you that haven't looked at the wow experience that we have put together for you, it costs you about $250 to wow your clients using our wow manual. So we'll show you at the end, but I want to show you all that is not the come all end all of how to wow people. So I want to give you all sorts of ideas on how that can be done and to create a wow mindset. Because here's the thing, guys. Have you ever gotten frustrated that the guy across town that's extremely successful is a crappy financial advisor? He gives people bad advice. Have you ever frustrated? The guy across town making money hand over fist, and he's an idiot when it comes to him handling people's money. Has that ever happened to you? Give me yeas or nays. That's only happened to one person? Okay, so now everybody's saying yes. So yes, and why? Why is that person so successful? Because he's what? People love him. They love him. They don't love him because he's a great advisor. They love him because he's a great guy. That's what the kind of things that you can create with a wow experience. So in the pages that follow, we're going to offer inspiration. You don't have to do these things, but it's inspiration with stories and provide specific guidance on how to create a great experience and make it more routine for you. But this has to happen. You have to adopt these two tenets, that a wow, that what's a wow for you isn't necessarily a wow for everybody else. Now, again, I'm going on and on about being able to watch TV on a on a dentist's ceiling. Well, maybe for some people that's not a big deal. But so you got to find out what is a big deal, and this is what Tom, one of our great advisors, has done. Is he's very good at wowing a person under their personal experience. So all of his clients are wowed in a different way. That requires a lot more work, effort, creativity, etc. We do have a way to do that and personalize it that's very, very easy for you, which we'll show you at the very end. And anybody can do it, again, with an investment of less than $250. But the more personal you can make it, the better. Sincerity throughout the wall process must reign supreme. So these are the things that make the secret sauce of this book. Eat a bug. People would rather eat a bug than switch their financial professional, says Barron's rated financial professional. But wait, what about the results from a 2022 Escalent report? So I kind of go along with they'd rather eat a bug than switch financial professionals. Because do people like hassle? No. Do people like confrontation? No. Is moving from their current advisor to you a hassle? Yes. Does it entail confrontation? Because even if their advisor makes the process easy, they make it hard, then it's confrontational. They make it easy, even then they have to tell the advisor, I not like you. We really value what you've given us, but we've decided to go with somebody else. We don't, we think they're better than you. That's essentially what you're saying. So yes, people would rather eat a bug than switch financial professionals. That's why we use the 21-point checklist. But wait, what about the results of a 2022 Escalent report showing that fewer than 6 in 10 of affluent advisors say they would highly likely to follow the advisor to a new firm? So they just don't want to move from where they're currently at, but they're not going to follow you. So are they loyal to you, or are they complacent? Are most people loyal to you, or are they complacent, saying, we're here, we're things are going fine, we don't want to go through the hassle and problems of moving? So that's a problem. Now, we've solved that to get people to move to you with the 21-point checklist. But if you have to be aware of these things to make sure they don't you don't have them leave you to go to somebody else. Truth, and we can actually leverage this stuff too. Truth is, both perspectives are right. Many investors do not want to experience the possible negative sensation associated with packing up and leaving their financial professional. Yet these same investors are having what Dr. McKelly characterizes as normative client experience, average and easily forgettable. So that normal client experience is average and easily forgettable. So guys, do most advisors return calls? Yes. Do most advisors meet with their clients regularly? Yes. Do most advisors send out Christmas cards? Yes. So that's forgettable. That's not giving them a wow experience. They didn't get that anywhere. In other words, they are susceptible to being enticed by another financial professional into moving their accounts elsewhere, perhaps by a financial professional more willing to create a deeper and more personal relationship. Do we do that with the 21-point checklist? And again, this is not about the 21-point checklist. This is about creating other things outside of the financial that will create a wow, but we already give you a huge tool to do this. One that recognizes they're more than an account number or a management fee. The 7 things we do, the 7 non-financial things that we do, are we paid for them? Do they have anything to do with their money? Do they have anything to do with fees, or do we do those things for free? Again, we already do this as a 20-point checklist. I'm going to give you other ideas as well, though. Send in the close. In our commoditized world, differentiating yourself from the competition is hard enough. For financial professionals where the product is most intangible, it's harder still. But in wake of volatile global financial markets that are intensified the competition in client assets, offering extraordinary client experiences is a financial professional's best defense. Offering clients an extraordinary client experience is a financial professional's best defense. How many of our competition provide extraordinary experiences to their clients? How often have you ever found a client that said, I'd really like to go with you, but our guy is so awesome. He does this. Now, I have had that happen to some advisors I worked with in Nebraska, and it's because the guy that they were trying to, he basically had locked up all of Omaha's, not Warren Buffett, obviously, but everybody else. They had locked up a huge amount of affluent people in Nebraska. You know how? He rented a bus for the entire Cornhuskers season, and they had a party bus, and it had unbelievable catering in the parking lot of the Nebraska Cornhuskers football games for the whole season. Even people that did not like football wanted to go because it was such a blast. So was that an extraordinary client experience? People moved to him not for his acumen, financial acumen, but because they want to be part of this group that was always having a fantastic time. Now, he wasn't a dummy. He took care of people's finances the same as everybody else, but it had nothing to do with that. That's the reason people wanted to move with him. So how many of your competition offer extraordinary client experiences? That's the only time I've ever had an advisor run into competition, because that wasn't my advisor. It was another advisor, and they could not get these people to leave him, and I see why. To be truly remarkable, truly outstanding in the minds of your clients, you need to deliver a sense of wow. Experiences, not money management, experiences that create an emotional connections that boost retention. Guys, if they're all going and having a great time for 4 months out of the year going to these Cornhusker games, is he creating emotional connections with these people? Are all of his clients creating emotional connections with each other? Do they want to leave their friends that go to this thing And he didn't do anything else. Well, he had a Christmas party too. But this really, the football and Christmas party is the only thing this guy did, and created unbelievable practice based on that. Wow catches emotions in a way that is unexpected. Someone who say, how did they do that? How did they know me so well? That's the kind of things you're looking for. The concept of customer service continues to evolve. It is no longer about offering good service. Everybody offers good experience. It's about delivering great experiences. That's what they're looking for. The idea that every touch point with your clients should serve to help them experience your brand is a good one. But you want more satisfied customers. You're looking for loyal clients for life. Then there's another step. Guys, how many of you have done what I've talked about over the last 25 years over and over and over again, which probably cost you $25, have a marquee on the outside of your door, so when people come to their appointment, it says, welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Please, how many say me? I want to see how many people say me. I did that. So type in ME if you've done that. $25, guys. $25 to do that. We got one. That's it. Wow, guys. You're missing such an easy, cheap way to wow people. And Missy can attest to this. When we were building our building, and we were looking at builders. What builder did we go with, Missy? Of all the builders, with the 3 builders we looked at, one of them said, welcome, welcome Mike Castleneck and Associates.
Yep.
Which one did we go with?
Yep, we went with the one that we walked on into. There's little tiny waiting room that was, it was nothing special, but there was a little tiny sign that said welcome with our names on it. And that was the builder that we went with. It was a huge first impression, even though, again, the surrounding area was nothing special, but it sure made us feel loved.
Yeah, and guys, it's so. Gigi says, Mike, you're wrong. It doesn't cost $25, it costs $40. Yeah, so I'm probably using old numbers, Gigi. So thank you, Gigi, for doing it, though. $40 is still a great investment because it can work over and over and over again to wow people. It's so easy. Stormy weather, wow. My practice, this is an example of what one advisor did. My practice is in a beach town. That means hurricanes. Often hurricanes, guys, we have a lot of advisors in the southeast, so this would be something you could actually borrow. Often hurricanes cause people living near the ocean to evacuate their homes for 3 or 4 days at a time. The good thing about hurricanes is that we usually know several days ahead of time that they're coming. In our client base, we've flagged everyone living on or near a beach. And really, in today's world, flooding doesn't just occur at the beach. So there's other things you could do here. When we know there's a hurricane approaching, we contact all of them. We offer to provide any necessary assistance getting them or their things resituated and secure. We obviously don't do the work ourselves, but we make the connections. The interesting thing is that we've only had a few of our clients take us up on this, but we still make the call each time. That's what matters. And that's a great thing about WOW. A lot of things that you do with WOW, you make the offer. People will not even take you up on that but you still get all the credit for it. So it costs you nothing work-wise, it costs you nothing monetarily, and yet you get the credit for doing that thing. So as most of our WOWs, this has nothing to do with investments, but everything to do with risk management. Well, that's great that they're worried about risk management and they're tying it back to their wealth, but it's the birthday card that you send to them with a handwritten message about something they know that is just not something you send to everybody, but about a personal note. It's the guy, the advisor that I had that actually has a great singing voice that calls and sings his clients happy birthday every single year. That's the kind of stuff that makes people think, I'm never leaving this guy. Go where the expectations aren't. Go where the expectations aren't. Operational excellence is overrated. Yeah, because everybody does it. If you do not have operational excellence, how long is the client going to stay with you? If you're screwing up operationally, how long is that client going to stay with you? They're not. So everybody has good operational excellence. Good, I guess, good and excellence. Everybody is good at operational the mechanisms, because if they don't, the clients are going to leave them. That's just a given. That's because operational and technical excellence is now expected. They are relatively easy to replicate. So all the practitioners in the industry are doing everything really, really well. All of our clients now really have high expectations. They get newsletters from their advisors. They get regular financial updates. They experience a good website with their advisor. All these things are normal now. It's not like you're creating a wow experience with a good website that runs financial news or a newsletter. Or I think ours is a little bit different because it's more personal and it's not about the money. But still, a newsletter is a newsletter as far as these clients are concerned. These are things that everybody does now. Play on a higher level where predisposed expectations don't exist. Play for the superior customer experience. Operational excellence allows you to play in the big leagues. Wow gets you into the Hall of Fame. I totally agree. Businesses with successful functional and emotional client bonding had higher retention and cross-sell. So if they had great wow experiences, they retained their clients at 84% versus 30%. They're able to cross-sell 82% versus 16%. They will continue to buy from you. Here's another example. Our practice has many important professional contacts in tax advice world. Their lives and practices are incredibly stressful around tax time. With that in mind, we pulled a list of all of our tax professional contacts and sent a tax season survival kits to their offices. The kits contained all sorts of seasonal, and we've all heard these kits, right? Aspirin, no-dose snacks, candy, coffee, all the gourmet cookies, etc. Do we have a system like this on the FIBCO website? Yes, we do. Should you be sending a letter to all of your clients' tax advisors when they become a client, and you haven't done it? Should you be sending it now? Yes, it's on the website. Could you then send them, the tax advisors, a kit like this? You're not even a client of theirs, but remind them that they're the tax advisor for 3 or 4 of your clients, and send them a little basket. That's the kind of thing. So not only should you wow your clients, you should wow their advisors. Now, they also talk about, shortly after sending the kits, we sent a handwritten note from a principal of one of our firms thanking us for, we received a handwritten note from the principal of one of the firms thanking us profusely. We were so impressed by how grateful this client was. And again, I'm saying send it to your client. Don't even send it to your clients. Send it to your client's tax preparers. Was that we've taken the time to acknowledge that his team was going through a trying tax season and brighten the day with fun and unexpected moment. Guys, how much traction can this give you? And how many of you would love to be loved? Yeas or nays to this. How many of you would love to be loved by your client's tax preparer? Yeah, me. I agree, Tom. Me. Why? Why would you want to be loved by their tax preparer? First of all, who's the first person to throw stones at you guys when you're recommending something? Who is the first person to throw stones at you guys if you're recommending something? Because are accountants known for being aggressive? Are they known for being, hey, things are going well, let's just stay with it. I would recommend you just stay with what you're doing. Seems like things are going well, stay with what you're doing. That's the kind of mentality accountants have. Now, if you have their friends and they start to trust you and like you, guess what? They're going to be more likely when their client goes to them, because who do clients run things by? Who do clients? Their family and their accountants. That's who they run things by. You want that accountant, you want that tax preparer in your court. Does that make sense? We don't articulate a particular service or model to our clients. Our preference is to simply beat any expectations they have and even anticipate their needs. And this is what Tom does so well. Play the curve. Play the curve. As shown in the illustration on the next page, the potential scale of professional service interactions typically forms a curve. Most fall into the normative range, somewhere between just okay and pretty good. In other words, they're among the easily forgotten moments of everyday life, like a trip to the grocery store. So getting a newsletter, getting having a great website, those are what? Those are forgotten. Those are forgotten. You want things that they don't forget. But at the extremes, you'll find the wows and the anti-wows. So you can wow somebody in a good way and you can wow somebody in a bad way. These are experiences that get clients talking about you, both in a meaningful, memorable, and leave a lasting emotional signature. But only the positive wows leave the kind of signature you want to be remembered for. They're the target of all of this guy's books and this presentation. So most experiences fall into the normative range right here, things that all of your competition do. And guys, if you say, but if I do it better than my competition, does that matter? If your newsletter is better than your competition, does that really matter? No, because when you say, hey, I got a newsletter, I guess, hey, I got one too. You can't just have something that everybody, you need to have, wow has to be something that they have not experienced in any shape, form, or manner from everybody else. So somewhere between, a normative range is somewhere between just okay or pretty good. Moving off the center is where things get interesting. On the right, there's the good stuff. On the wrong, there's the bad stuff. I always take action to make sure your clients are in the right place. Wows can have a huge and lasting impact and forge bonds that are difficult to walk away from. So here's another example. When an elderly client suffered a serious heart attack, ending up in critical care unit at a local hospital, his financial professional was torn. While the financial professional wanted to lend his support to someone he truly cared about, he didn't want to intrude on the family during such an uncertain personal time. Following his strong instincts to pay a visit, financial professional cast aside any doubt and went anyways. Upon arriving at the hospital, the financial professional found several family members in the waiting area. When they saw him, the client's wife and daughter immediately approached and with a sigh of relief said, "Thank goodness you're here. We have so many questions for you." The financial professional was deeply gratified that he trusted his gut instead of succumbing to his doubts. Not only was he able to demonstrate sincere concern for his longtime client, but he also served as a source of comfort and knowledge for the family in a critical time. By the way, the client pulled through, giving his potentially sad wow story a happy ending. So that's, and you know what? I know a lot of you guys. You guys are awesome. That's the kind of thing almost every one of you guys that I've talked to would do for a client. You would show up at the hospital, and that's great. That tells me the kind of people that 5Q attracts, and the kind of and that's the kind of thing you should be looking at every single day. So 10 practices for creating wow experiences. Make wow part of your consciousness. To be adept at wow, you need to weave it into the fabric of your practice, which means you need to be thinking about it when? On this coaching call or always? Always. It should be in the back of your head. How can I create a wow experience? Build your team's process around it. Champion a perspective that life. So if you have assistants, if you have staff, tell them we're going to make this a wow year. We're going to make it a wow year for us. We're going to make it a wow year for our clients. We should always be listening, looking for ways to create a wow experience for a client. Sometimes wows are a long time in the making, but when you consider that some clients don't give you enough information to create a wow experience, that you don't know them quite well enough. They're kind of guarded about what they like, about their personal preferences, about the things that they're excited about. So it may be 2 or 3 years before you finally get that thing that that's a way I could wow them. But when you do that, if they're that closed about their personal life, guess how wow they will be? A lot or a little when you finally find that thing that you can send to them or do for them that creates wow experiences. They are blown away. So always be looking for wows because they can happen in a flash. That little thing that where they peel back their privacy and let you in on something that they're really passionate about, listen for that and make a note of it, and then figure out with your staff or with yourself or with your wife or with your husband, brainstorm, how could I really use that piece of information to, maybe they love orchids. Maybe they're an orchid gardener. Maybe they love motorcycles. Maybe they're a big cyclist. Maybe they're into fitness. Maybe they're into Italian food. There are ways that listen for those things to create wow experiences. Here's another example. Another day in paradise. One of my clients is in his 60s and the owner of a large company was in a situation where he was working more than he wanted to. Still, every time someone asked him how things are going, his sincere reply was, just another day in paradise. One day while on vacation, I was in a gift shop and saw a painting of a beach with the words, it's just another day in paradise. My client's name, my client came to mind because that's what he always said. I bought this print to send to him. By coincidence, it arrived on his birthday, but even more surprising, on my next visit, I walked into the office and saw the picture I purchased for him hanging on the wall beside another nearly identical one. The client's 13-year-old daughter saw the same painting online and couldn't afford to buy it, so she painted it for her dad. It was an amazing emotional experience, coincidence, true wow. See, these are the guys, he had no idea this happened, but is this guy making his own luck? Is this guy making his own luck? He absolutely is. Chance favors, and this is chance favors a prepared mind. This guy's on vacation, just happened to see the picture, just happened to connect it to what a client always said, and then it just happened that his 13-year-old daughter tried to do the same thing. Chance favors the prepared mind. Bocelli notes that in New Gold Standard, knowledge alone is not power. Power comes when it is transferred through action. A great idea is worth nothing unless you take action. The key to systematically delivering wow experiences is the readiness factor. Chances favor the prepared mind. In other words, commit to delivering wow moments. Expect that you'll be delivering them. Know that that's part of what you're going to do. Your big push for this year is to create wow moments, thereby establishing a readiness factor that allows you to swiftly execute when the opportunity knocks. So guys, let me ask you a question. How many times is this guy going to be asked about a professional picture and a hand-drawn picture? How many times is he going to be asked in the next year, next 2 years, next 3 years about those two things? Never? Or a lot? So many times. That's right. So many times. And he's going to say what? My advisor, blah, blah, blah. And guess what the person he says that to is starting to think? My advisor has never done anything like that for me. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for. Here's another example. One of my clients happened to mention liking a particular brand of red wine. So while in my office signing, or while I found out while I was signing some documents, turns out the client and his wife were also having a dinner party that night. Well, the owner of the favored vineyard was also a client. I called him and asked if he could have some wine delivered to the clients that are having a party. The vintner went on one better. He hand-delivered the wine and staged share glass with my clients and his friends. It was an unexpected and appreciated gesture that wowed not only the client, but the other guests as well. See, again, he didn't plan for this, but was he listening? Was he paying attention? Yes. So the best wow is not the one that you plan, it's the one that you listen for and can leverage at the moment. We'll often have a thought about doing something for someone, saying something to them, but then we don't act on it. We get distracted or we worry about being embarrassed, for example. Your subconscious doesn't lie. Listen to your instincts. You'll probably regret that you didn't do that. He heard this and he did it. He didn't just think about it. Oh, that would have been a good idea. No, he did it. Engage emotionally. Practice number 2. It's easy to be consumed with numbers, investment performance, the hard data, the measurement metrics. But guys, if you live by the numbers, you're also going to what? If you live by the numbers, you're going to what? Yeah, that's great. When you're going to die by the numbers. So when the numbers are good, yay. When the numbers are bad, oh, no. You want to be more them to love you for more than just the numbers. Here, Mark says, I have a source that will make cheese boards out of a wine bottle, and I give them to my client who gave it to my client who loved it. So yeah, and again, you want to make sure that that's awesome. So anytime you know somebody entertains, that would be a great gift to give them. Again, what we can do is give gifts to all of our clients, and we should when they come on board. But the wow experiences are when we connect something they say or something we know about them to them in particular. To them in particular. So if we know this client loves or always uses cheese at their parties, if we know that they love wine, that is a wow factor. If we know if the client is a craft beer person and loves meat on the grill, then we want to get them something different. But listening and finding unusual things like Mark did there with the cheese board made out of wine bottle, those are the kind of things that can create wow experiences. So again, we can't be about the numbers. It's also easy to get sucked into endless strategies for fine-tuning operational excellence. By being great being great at a wow requires being good and technical, but also being great at the emotional, developing the gut instincts, the empathy, and the intuitive understanding of to meaningfully connect with clients, and where and how to wow them. See, you can't just be good at the operational, just can't be good at the technical. You got to be good at the emotional intelligence, but when you can tie all those together, that is what keeps clients from leaving you and brings new clients on and gets clients referring to you. Deliver on the moments of impact. Some of the best opportunities to create wow moments arise from important life milestones and focusing attention on people and events that are most significant in your clients' lives. The more you create wows that involve these occasions, the deeper resulting connection with your clients. So guys, give me some ideas of what would be important life milestones. We just talked about one. Somebody goes into the hospital. That's a huge milestone. What's some other milestones? Somebody retires. What's another milestone? 50th anniversary, wedding anniversary. 10th anniversary of being your client. Passing of a spouse, already awesome. That's a very big milestone. Grandkids' births, yes, or grandkids' graduations, or kids' graduations, yes. What are some other things? Age 65, Medicare. Age 70, RMD. What are some other moments of impact? Hurricanes, we just talked about that, right? Hurricanes. What are some other things? And you guys, is everybody how about if you live in Phoenix or in Texas, and it was nice and cool down there last summer, right? Nice and cool down there. And do we really think it's going to start getting cooler down south with everything that's going on in the world environmentally today? No. What could you have sent after 2 weeks of over 100 temperatures to your clients? That would have got them chuckling, laughing, and put a smile on their face that none of your competition did. Could you put the care package together for people after 2 weeks of over 100-degree days? Yeah, cool. Yeah, one of those cool rags that they have out there. So bucket list. Knowledge of your top clients' passions and interests. If you can get this, guys, this is gold. This is platinum. This is diamond. This is immeasurably valuable. Knowledge of your clients' passions and interests, and this is what Tom does so well. And that's why he gets so many great and high net worth referrals. Knowing your top clients' passions and interests can offer fertile ground for creating wows. And that's what's more, a significant passion when a client's bucket list item. Something from the list, things they want to do before they die. One professional played a big part in arranging a skydiving event for the parent of one of his top clients, which included a family dinner after the electrifying event. The 87-year-old jumped out of the airplane, and the event was recorded for the whole family to enjoy for years to come. How much are they going to talk about that to their friends and relatives? A flashback. As a child, this financial professional experienced a house fire. The devastation was forever etched in his memory, so when one of his best clients suffered a similar tragedy, he simply reacted, knowing just what to do. His most vivid memory from his own childhood disaster was his parents using a blow dryer to dry out old family photos that had been doused by water. So that's exactly what the financial professional did. We showed up on the day of the fire, the blow dryer, sifted through burnt debris, got a box with a photo album, and was able to salvage a number of meaningful photos for clients with the help of a blow dryer. This unique act of service represented an overwhelming wow. So these are the kind of things that he didn't plan for. He doesn't do this for all of his clients. He did it for one of his clients. That's how you really create great wows. And think about this. What are your clients really buying anyways? Your clients are buying you. I've talked about this before. If there's two mechanics, one on the left-hand side of the road, one on the right-hand side of the road, how do I make my decision on which one I'm going to work with? Is one going to be better than the other? Am I worried about which one can fix my car? No. If they're in business, what do I know about them? They can both fix my car. So what am I looking for then? I'm looking for the mechanic who cares about me, who puts my concerns above their own. Integrity. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Now, how do I know? Because are both of the mechanics going to say that they're honest? Yeah, they're both going to say that. Do all of our competitors say they're going to be honest? Yeah. Do all of our competitors say they're going to put the client's concerns above their own? Yes. So you can't say it. You got to what? Show it. So what are ways to show that? What are ways to show that? One of the ways is by wowing them, offering them experiences that have nothing to do with their money. Yes, we do that with the 21-point checklist, but these are other ways that you can do it to make unbelievable impressions on them and get referrals. Practice 3, to each their own. Go ahead and go beyond the golden rule. So do not treat others the way you want to be treated. Rather, treat others the way they want to be treated. Just because you love wine, does that mean your clients are going to love wine? Just because you love craft beer, does that mean they're going to love craft beer? Just because you love the corn huskers, does that mean they're going to love the corn huskers? No. Now, he went beyond the corn husker tickets. It was the whole experience, the bus ride, the tailgating. That's how that advisor was making it work for him. But just because you're interested in something doesn't mean they are. Find things that your clients are interested in. That's how you wow them, not something that you're interested in. That's the problem I've seen with a lot of advisors who have tried this is they've come up with great things that really impress them, but really had no idea whether it would impress their clients or not. Go beyond the golden rule. Don't do what you want. Do what the clients want. Through wows, the wows can and should scale to the value of a client and firms. They still have one thing in common. They need to be perceived as uniquely significant. So signing a birthday card is BS. Signing a birthday card is BS. It has to be, hey, Jim, hope you have a great 67th birthday. I know that you love your coffee, so here's a $10 gift certificate to Caribou or $25 gift to Starbucks coffee. That has a personal feeling to it. You may find that multiple recipients could benefit from the same wow. So if you have a lot of coffee drinkers, terrific. And our wow experience will tell you whether they're coffee drinkers or not and how much they love coffee. And we'll tell you that again at the very end. A wow for one person or group might not be a wow for another, so it must be individualized to personal interests or circumstances. That doesn't mean that you can't group your clients: coffee lovers, wine lovers, craft beer lovers, football lovers, golfers, gardeners, motorcyclists, bicyclists. That doesn't mean you can't group them, but make sure you're not sending, if you send a bicycle gift to a motorcyclist, going to be happy or kind of perturbed? More importantly, if you send a motorcycle gift to a bicyclist, happy or perturbed? The more you can find out about your clients, the better. Individualized is the key characteristic of wow. Well, speaking of coffee, wine tasting events are certainly, I love this. I love this idea. Everybody does wine tasting events now. Are certainly enjoyable, memorable as wow clients. But one creative advisory firm wanted to think outside the wine box and focus on a beverage about which many clients are equally passionate. Coffee. And the great thing is, with the coffee, well, we'll talk about this here in a second. The team decided to host a coffee taste at a local Starbucks. Store manager took care of all the details, including providing guests with a brief history of the coffee, matching the taste of a variety of coffees with around the globe. Clients loved the insider view of the world of coffee. It was unique and interesting, something that they were likely to remember every morning when they pour for this cup. Guys, do you want to work at night? Because if you're going to do a wine tasting, when are you working? If you're doing a coffee event, when you're going to be working. I know when I want to work, and it ain't at night. Guess when I want to work. And you want to do something different. Guys, I can tell you many guys on this call have done wine tastings. How many of you have done a coffee thing like this? How many of you have done a coffee thing like this? If you haven't, have you ever heard of any clients talking about this? And you know, that manager at Starbucks, he is going to do most of the work, isn't he? It's not like doing a seminar at a restaurant where the restaurant can be total turds If you go to a coffee shop and offer this, especially one that's not busy, like in the middle of the morning, these managers are bonuses are based on volume. Would they like a bunch of people in there at a slow time? I love this idea. Good idea or bad idea? Good, a G or B? G or B? G or B? G or B? Let me. Good. I'm glad a lot of you agree. Express yourself. We're all buried in a mass mailings and email blasts, and a majority get ignored. So the handwritten note, guys, I over and over and over I tell you this, but this guy's done the research on it. A handwritten note is one of the most important things you can send to people, and it's cheap. And how many handwritten notes have you gotten from people that actually targeted them personally? When I send you a handwritten note, do I know the person you wrote the business for? When I send you a handwritten note, do I thank you for a particular case, or do I just have Missy print out a whole bunch of things, thanks for the business, and sign it at the bottom? When I send you a handwritten note, do I know who you sent it for? Do I know how many cases you wrote the previous month? And guys, when I sent notes to my clients, do you think they knew that I was thinking about them in particular when I wrote that particular card? Handwritten notes are so easy. That's how rare they become. If you think about it, if a client walks in your office and hands you $500,000 to invest for him, isn't sending a handwritten note the least you could do to thank him for the new business? And if he keeps that $500,000 with you next year, isn't thanking him at his client anniversary with a handwritten note at least worth a handwritten note? Please, please, please remember, client communication is not as much about frequency, but about relevance and quality, and it should be delivered in a way that strikes a personal chord with the client. When you send a newsletter, what's that tell them about you? Do they know you thought about them when you sent them a newsletter? No. They know you're sending it out to who? Everybody. The decoding your client's exercise part B. Emotional dynamics equals how to appreciate. Individuals generally lean toward one style in terms of how they feel valued. Increasing your awareness of your client's emotional dynamics can help you make interactions more meaningful and more likely to achieve wow status. So some people like acknowledgement. Desire is verbal, written expression, acknowledgement, or praise. Guys, what tool do we give you for this acknowledgement and praise? What tool do we give you for this? It's the most important tool, the strongest tool we have. What's that tool, guys? Think APE, A-P-E. What's that tool? What is that tool that we give you? Empower. Tell somebody they're above average. Service. Appreciate acts that create a meaningful impact on their life or their life. So, again, listening to volunteer your service at the client's favorite charity, or give money in their name for their favorite charity. Appreciate acts of meaningful impact on their life. There's so many ways you can do that. Time. That is one-on-one time invested in the relationship. Invite these clients to a lecture series or industry relevance. I think that's kind of weak. Everybody does that. Tokens. Welcome tangible expression appreciation. Provide a list of useful websites, travel tips, business resources, or this is where you can really wow them. Find the gifts or the experiences that you can give them that really align with the things that they really value in life. Practice 4, remarkable means repeatable, referable. So what's remarkable? Anything a client wants to talk about, tweet about, post about, recount in any way. Like we talked about that guy's pictures on the wall. Another Day in Paradise, the picture he bought, and the one they drew. He's going to be talking about that constantly. It's important to remember that what's remarkable is always up to the client. How many people are going to, or would that family talk about their 87-year-old mother jumping out of an airplane? They're going to be talking about that constantly. It's also possible to find bad experiences more remarkable than good ones. So keep score. Try to ensure your clients' interactions end up in the plus column when it comes to remarkable experiences. You cannot do a kindness too soon, for never know how soon it will be too late. Going the distance. One of my clients was very excited about going to a salmon fishing trip to a remote area in Alaska. You can only get there by plane. There's no TV. All food and supplies have to be flown in. We did our homework and found a way to have a welcome package delivered to this remote location When the client checked in, a basket of cheese and wine along with a personal note were waiting in the room. The client was amazed that we were able to get the basket to the room when it had been so difficult for him to get there. He has never stopped talking about it. See, those are the kind of things you can really add wow experiences. Go for the Super Bowl effect. The best wows bounce around. They get shared in the form of enthusiastic retellings. Best of all, when wow stories get passed around, your brand is burnished by the best possible method, positive word-of-mouth experiences. Guys, how do you think that advisor in Nebraska filled that bus? It ended up being 2 buses eventually, 2 buses that went to the Cornhusker games, many of which weren't even Cornhusker fans. How did they fill that buses? By putting ads in the paper? How did they fill those buses over the 3 years? It took him 3 years to get up to 2 buses. How did he fill those buses? By what? Word of mouth. That's right, word of mouth. The best way you can grow your business is through creating experiences that you get your clients talking. Get your clients talking. Referrals to the bark. Financial professional had a client who's a widow living alone. During one conversation, now this one goes a little beyond. You have to be careful, but it shows they were thinking outside the box. She mentioned she wanted a dog. She even knew what kind of dog she wanted, but was unsure how to go about finding one. The financial professional researched the breed she wanted, located one near her home, and asked if she could pick up and deliver a puppy for her. The client was thrilled, accepted the offer, and after that, she wouldn't let the dog out of her sight and took it everywhere with her. Inevitably, people would ask about the dog. She'd tell them about the financial professional found and delivered her a surprise. Referrals resulted from the client literally carrying financial professionals wow around with her every single day. I mean, this is way over the top, but think outside the box here. How many of your clients have dogs? How many of your clients have dogs? Lots or not very many? Could you hire a dog trainer to do special class for them? Could you have do an event at a high-end dog store? Would that dog store love to have you bring them in? And you know what? That dog store would find, believe me, they'll find some wholesaler who would love to be there to give free samples of their products. So, and people who have dogs, do they love their dogs? Yes. So that's the kind of way that if you live in a horse area and your clients have horses, could you do something similar to that? So find that thing that really people love and really leverage it. Could you, if you have a lot of bicyclists, or not even a lot, but maybe 5 bicyclists, could you put together or would a bike store or a bike club be willing to put together an itinerary for you that you could go on an afternoon ride and hit 2 or 3 different coffee and sandwich places? Those are the kind of things that you can do. Take advantage of referral moments. A primary result of wowing your clients is increased and even creates extreme client loyalty, and it's loyal clients that refer. What did we talk about here a few weeks ago where I said satisfied clients refer how often? Never. Satisfied clients never refer because they're just with you until they can find something better. The way you know if your client is loyal to you is if they've referred, and the average loyal client will refer 7 people in their lifetime. 7 people in their lifetime with you. Delighted clients will happily share your name. So make new friends, appreciate the old. One more thing about client acquisition. For most of us, the hunt for high-quality clients is never ending. And once a relationship is established, systematically wowing them is a proven way to retain them. But where do you find more of these clients? Often it's by asking existing clients for an introduction to someone just like them. The most opportune moment for asking for these clients is when you're wowing them. When you're wowing them. Guess what the guy on the bus with the Cornhuskers, guess what he did at the end of every game? Hey, did you all have a good time? Yeah. Do you have friends who'd like a good time? Hey, have them give me a call. Your probability of quality client acquisition goes up substantially after delivering a wow. People like and do help people who have just helped them. Remember, this is not rocket science, but it can be a brilliant reaction. Make sense? So guys, we're at the top of the hour. do I have your permission to continue this conversation next week, or are you bored of it? Can we continue this conversation next week, or are you? So I got a couple of yeses, yays or nays. Okay, good. I'm getting everybody saying do. So we'll pick up from this point here, and then next week talk about how for $250 you can provide a wow experience and gather all sorts of data about people that you could use to wow them later on. And please choose one of these. And I love that coffee idea. I love that coffee idea because it's simple to do. You're going to get a lot of cooperation from the coffee shop, and it's something that nobody is experiencing, and would love to. You get a lot of word of mouth. So we'll continue this again next week. You guys are welcome back.
Mike, I'm just going to jump.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just going to jump in there. So next week is actually Martin Luther King Day Jr. Day. So it won't be next week. It'll be the 22nd. So it'll actually be 2 weeks from today. We'll continue it.
Okay. So all of you that said yes, can I do it 2 weeks from now then? Thanks, Missy. Oh, local roaster. That's a great idea. So sorry about that, guys. So it will not be next week. It'll be the following week, but we'll continue this because do you see how this you could really leverage this? And does this cost a lot of time? Maybe not. A lot of money? Definitely not. But has what kind of impact? Huge. And the impact it will have is on referrals. This is a great way to go into this year is wowing your clients because it's a great way to grow your business without a lot of money. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you not next week, but the following week. Have a great rest of the week or the rest of 2 weeks. We'll talk to you then. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.